What's good? Drop it in the chat. Who's here? Jordan Snow first. Shout out to you, Jordan Snow, even though I guess there's nobody to shout you out to. Ollie Blair, tips for heel flips. Go watch my shot heel flip video. But I would say get that pinky toe in the corner pocket and flick later than you think. Pop like a high ollie and then flick really hard with the pinky toe. New Jorge, what up? Leave it in the chat where you guys are watching from. Where are you guys from? I don't recognize your guys' names, so I'm curious. Biggest set you've kickflipped? A 4. Not a big jumper. I'm always I was kickflipping down something small and I rolled my ankle like really bad. Sammy Baked, Kaysville, Utah. Shout out Utah. Anyway, so I've always kind of stayed away from anything that could roll my ankle. Goon Squad, I'm in a plane right now. What's up, Eli? Where are you going? Sacramento. From Brazil. Tudo bem, Jorge? Tudo bem? Biggest set you ollied? A 6. Not a big jumper. I think I could get into it, but I haven't. Like I said, I'm not. It's an easy way to get hurt. So Andrew Ventura, DMV, hell yeah. Andrew, what are you doing at the DMV? You getting your license or updating your registration? Eli, you're in Atlanta? Why are you in Atlanta? Sorry guys, I'm pulling up a post by the barracks that we're gonna talk about. But how's everybody's day going? Is the barracks still relevant? What are your guys' thoughts and feelings about the barracks right now? That girl, what up? Yo, Ben, did you just post the link to the stream in the local Joe Discord? Going there for a wedding. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ben. I should probably. All right, guys. So we're gonna talk about skate contests, but before we get into the discussion, let's try and get to 15 likes, so we get enough people here to have a good discussion. So if yeah, we're at 2 likes right now. Let's try and get it to 15, and then we're gonna talk about contests. But in the meantime, what tricks are you guys working on? I don't really, with the barracks, I've really been enjoying Free Skate Mag and Jankum content lately. Yeah, what are your guys' alternatives to watching the barracks or Thrasher? Those are kind of the big two. I really like Pocket Skate Mag. I really like their followed segments. But also, Thrasher's doing something like that called Out There. Watching Local Joe. I'm the alternative. Backside heel. For me, I can only do that on a hip or on the Euro or out of a bank or something. But I would say just wait to flick. Hijinks Network is solid. Rick flip. I've never done one. I'm trying to half cab flip down a 5-stair. Hell yeah, you got it. Have you heard of Angel Dust Magazine? No, I haven't, Jordan. Tell us about Angel Dust Magazine. Is it a skate magazine or what is it? A YouTube thing? Have you guys heard of, what's it called? Daily Psychic? Somebody leave it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Daily Psychic. No. There's something that's like a paid service, like for content, but you can also they put out like free stuff every now and again, and they're out of New York. They did one that was like spot searching with Lurker Lou or something like that, and Mark Sushu. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that I felt like that's some good content. I'm into that. What else? What other barracks alternatives you guys on? I feel like Village Sidekick. They did the one with Louis. It was so gas. Louis Barletta or Louis Lopez? I haven't seen it either way. But John Hill. Just kidding. I watch all of his videos, but I think his format's just a little bit repetitive. Louis Lopez. Man, did I watch that one? I feel like I may have watched that. I'm not sure though. Quarter Snacks. Quarter Snacks is solid. Sometimes I don't make it through all the slides though. That's like, but. All right, guys, let's jump into the topic. So the question is, do contests matter? So I've got this post right here on the barracks. The barracks post these questions every once in a while. Local Joe's the best YouTube skater. No, that's not true. That's not true. Quarter Snacks' favorite spots. Hockey at Zoomies. Oh, yo, what do you guys think about hockey at Zoomies? That's a interesting topic. I watched Gifted Haters video about it, and he was talking about how it seems like they're desperate at FA hockey because they sold off hockey, but not FA. And it's like, well, if you have a problem with it, just don't sell either or do business with either. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. Okay. So question of the day. Do contests matter? Hockey at Zoomies is good. The kids at the mall will love it. I don't know why hockey doesn't just go to more skate shops. I mean, it's just it seems like a money grab. All right. So, question of the day is, do contests really matter? Ricky Glauser, he got a perfect 69 likes on this. He said that side quests not relevant to the main campaign. So that contests are essentially like side quests in a video game. I enjoy watching them, but I would never participate in one. Well, yeah, watching and participating are like two completely different things. But like, seems fitting, not gonna lie. Yeah, if you're talking about the FA thing, I agree. Side quests not relevant to the main campaign. Do you guys agree with that? I don't know, because contests matter for the entertainment value. Yeah, so I think that there are, like, if you would, if you tried to argue that to Nige Houston, he'd be like, nah. He, like, obviously in skateboarding, like in the culture, it's all about video parts, right? But Nige Houston's house doesn't seem like a side quest to me. Like, that's where he lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, he makes so much money. Local Joe, I'm not gonna let you make it. I need a street part, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, at some point. Maybe I should go the contest route. Maybe I'd go contest route. No street part, just Aurelian Girard. Contests allow skaters to make some money. Yeah. Obviously, you can make it in skateboarding without contests, but all the wealthiest skaters have done well in contests that have made money straight from skateboarding. Because like Rob Dyrdek, he wasn't a big contest guy, but he still like competed in the X Games and stuff. But and I think he won. Did he win Tampa once? Side quests. I guess okay. So if I guess it's up to you whether or not that's a side quest or if it's your main quest, because there are certain people who cannot make enough money without them. The most money Andrew Reynolds ever made in his career was winning Tampa Pro. Really? More than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? I bet he got a way bigger paycheck from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I think he said he became a millionaire from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and that's how he had money to start Baker. Tampa Am contest is relevant for AMs to come up. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I feel like contests, just by the format of it, it lends itself to giving exposure to a lot of people in a short amount of time. So I think that contests I think they do matter. And you can treat it like a side quest, but I think if you treat contests as the main quest, you'll probably do better in terms of like making money. I think contests are mainly a marketing scheme because competition gets regular people emotionally invested. Skate contests are similar to singing contests or dance battles, I think. That's an interesting comparison because all those things are very subjective, skating, dancing, singing. But yeah, so I think, what up, Carlton? It provides a structure for regular people or people that are involved in skating to try and like enjoy it. You know what I mean? You're putting one person against another and seeing who can perform in the moment. I think it matters in a lot of ways, especially providing exposure. But like Sean Malta bought a house when he won Street League, right? So does it matter? I mean, I guess like to skateboarding, like skateboarding is going to be skateboarding. Everybody can enjoy it. But like in terms of having a career in skateboarding, being good at contests, I feel like it does matter. I feel like it helps you out immensely. All right. Here's another comment. Comparatively speaking, a video part needs a lot more skate-specific knowledge to be truly appreciated. Yeah. So contests are kind of for the masses. I agree with that. Whereas video parts, like if you show a regular person Nige Houston's video part, they'll get it. But if you show them Louis Lopez's video part, I don't think they'll get it. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example. But my point is that there are some skaters that, yeah, you just can't relate to. Whereas Nige Houston's putting his body on the line. Anybody can relate to that. And I feel like that's kind of how contests are. That's why they put so much emphasis on the stairs and rails, like the big section. You know what I mean? That that's the most exciting part for a regular person to see it. And also, like, skateboarding in the Olympics, for example, gives so much exposure to skateboarding and it builds the industry, right? Which means more pro skaters get paid and we get more skateboarding to look at. More people get to, make money in this skateboard thing. So I don't know. I have a hard time with the argument that contests don't matter. If everyone is having fun, it makes people happy, then yes, it matters. What? This guy's saying if everybody's having fun and it makes people happy, then yes, it matters. Okay, if everybody's not having fun and nobody is happy, do contests still matter? Yeah, I think they do. Even if everybody at the contest was pissed off and nobody was having fun, it's still exposure for people. So that's a weird comment. All right. So here's some guy. He doesn't believe that contests matter. I like watching contests. Stacey Joe, what up? What up? I am DeFort. I like watching contests too, but there is like a limit to how much you can watch. I feel like it's the biggest dare you skated was a 6. I like the real street format. Yeah, that I feel like that is a cool format to like be like a good mix of both. I feel like they could even do it in a better way, make it judge it live almost, so that we're all watching it together on a live stream, like watching all the parts. And if they could get some like actual decent music for it rather than like the like ambiguous like epidemic sound music that they use for it, just like it's like generic rock music or generic hip hop music, you know what I mean? I feel like that makes a big difference, and that's one reason why I don't really like that contest. Do you play any instruments or do you do anything artistic outside of skateboarding? Not really. I can play the piano a little bit. Is watching a contest with your partner lead to a longer love life and intense romance in bed? Wow. Well, I'll say this, Carlton. We named our son Silas Aurelian. And Aurelian came from watching the Do Tour and seeing Aurelian Gerard. And she liked the name Aurelian. And that became the middle name of our son. So I don't know about in bed, but it definitely impacted my son's life. Anyways, all right. So do contests matter? This guy, Lucifer Pernagram, says, hell no. You can't really judge a contest. Some people have difficult tricks on lock. It's easy for them. But there are other tricks not easy for them that others can do. In my opinion, skate contests are pointless, although I do enjoy watching people skate. I just ignore the competition aspect and judging. I don't know. Like, I see that point. What's good, Ilya Yarmash? I get that point that it's so subjective that it's like, how can we really claim it's a competition when skateboarding is so subjective? But at the same time, he says he enjoys watching good skating and he just ignores the scoring of it. And I agree with him to an extent, because sometimes I feel like they completely blow the scoring. I personally don't like skate contests because they get so repetitive. That's a valid point. But the fact that there's a scoring system, you can't deny that does push people to do the hardest tricks that they know how to do. Like, I just think, let's think, kickflip, backside, kickflip, fakie nose grind. Such a sick trick. But now everybody can do it, right? And now it's almost boring to see that trick. So, I do think that the level of skating gets pushed massively through contests because, like Jeff Lee just said, hardest tricks they know how to do, relatively consistent. So the thing that contests bring to the table is the necessity for consistency. And that sort of consistency and repetition, the fact that it can make you money, makes people more consistent, and they take that into the streets. Some of the scoring in Street League is horrendous. I am 100% with you there. I think they overscore the rails like an insane amount, and they underscore skating gaps. So yeah, I'm totally with you there. Like, I feel like there's arguably more danger skating a drop than there is skating some of those rails. And so I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? What do you think of the scoring specifically between the rails in Street League versus the gaps? Because I saw, I was watching Street League live. I personally don't like it when during a great run, if all happens and the run gets a low score, feels like the scoring system's not great. Street Ribeiro is better than contest Ribeiro. which Ribeiro are we talking about? But I was watching a street league in Lake Havasu, and Luan Oliveira did like a hard flip over the rail, and it took him all 5 of his tries, and he got like a 7.9 for it. And it not only was it difficult to get the hard flip up and over the rail, but also he landed it like rolled away perfect, so much steez, and he got less than an 8. And then I saw over the other handrail, I believe, P-Rod did switch backside flip over the handrail. Like, super insane switch, right? And I think he got like an 8. And I understand that seems like straightforward, like he's just jumping up, flipping his board, and landing. But at the same time, it is so easy to get wheel bite, jumping down stuff. Like the impact is so much harder jumping down a gap than it is skating a rail. So in my head, the level of difficulty is at least equal, if not, higher when you're skating a gap, depending on how big the gap is. So in that way, I feel like they consistently blow the scoring in Street League, because I just feel like it's unfair to people that are gap skaters. Easy to slip out on contest slick floor. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Chris Joslin would win more if gaps were scored correctly. They always dock that. Yeah, I feel like they have made a shift. Like last season, I feel like they made a shift to score gaps more. So we'll see if that shift continues, like shifting, or if maybe they'll shift back. Support local, Joe. Hey, thank you. Yeah, but with the consistency comes a robot skating that so many people seem to hate. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's take Braden Hoban, for example. Braden Hoban is extremely consistent. He doesn't look like a robot to me. We need more game of skate contests. I agree with that, TJ. I wish we'd have more like game of skate contests, like the Pacifico contest they did during COVID, where it was rails and stairs, and it was a game of skate. It was like a 7-stair rail and a 7-stair gap, and basically it was it was way more interesting to me to watch than a lot of skate contests. Gustavo just spams slit tray flips. That's true. It's like he literally has a tray flip button. Street Barrow. It's definitely both ways. The hardest contest tricks alone don't push the envelope the way tricks do in video parts, but even that is kind of dying out with how quickly video parts go nowadays. Yeah, but with consistency comes that robotic. Yeah, I don't know. The S Game of Skate was the best. Yep. Carlos spams Crook's nollie flip out. Carlos Ribeiro or Gustavo? Carlos? Which Carlos are we talking about? I feel like Shane spams crook dolly flips. I don't know, more in a tasteful way. Oh, Gustav. Yeah, Gustavo also. Tray flip, nose grind, tray flip, nose blunt. He has very predictable bag of tricks. I will say that. One thing you have to say for Nija is his bag of tricks has changed over the years. Like, he used to do tray flip Smith. He also used to 270 into rails a lot. He did back 270 kickflip lip slide. Gustavo has 2 tricks: nollie flip out and tray flip in. And sometimes those 2 tricks become 1 trick. Do you see yourself attending a contest, or do you consider yourself too old? Attending, yeah, I love going to contests, but participating, no, like, I'm not good enough. And being old has nothing to do with it, because a lot of those guys are my age. I'm just not good enough. But as far as attending, it doesn't bother me that I'm old or anything. Um, I think it would be cool if they make an obstacle score more every contest. First rail, second contest, gap, etc. Yeah, or they could just design the course that way to make the course like the rail is pretty mellow, and then they have this huge gap, and so then it's like it's obvious which one is going to score you more points. Um, but honestly, I feel like that doesn't even solve the issue. The issue is just the scoring. Do you remember in the first street leagues where they kept pushing that Chris Cole was the old veteran because he was 30? Yeah, that's funny. But I mean, they were trying to tell a story and, come up with, they were trying to make it like college game day. Make a locals only contest at Ivan's, home court advantage. Yeah. What I do want to do is I want to, have you guys ever heard of that contest in Brazil that they have called Slides and Grinds? It's like they build a ledge, or even sometimes they do a two-tier ledge. So there's like a lower ledge, and then it has like a back seat on it. It's like, I don't know, it's like a foot tall or whatever. And they do, instead of skate, skate, they do slide and grinds. Anyways, but basically it's skate, but with different letters, and every trick you have to alternate a slide or a grind. And so it's cool because I feel like Brazilians are known for their ledge skating. For whatever reason, I feel like every Brazilian is just beast like ledge skating. So seeing them all compete against each other is pretty wild. Like seeing Thiago skate against like Felipe Gustavo or Luan Oliveira, like or Carlos Ribeiro, JP Souza. Like there's so many good Brazilians, and so seeing like that type of format, a ledge game of skate, I think that's sick. I wonder if they could do something like, in like I was watching the show called like Physical 100 or something, and it's like a strength competition and like reality TV style, and there's like different challenges. What if there was like level 1 was like flat ground, and then level 2 was flat bar, and then level 3 was mani pads or something, and you like pick names out of a hat, and like people had to play against each other, and then like the top 3 advanced or something, and like went from like stage 1, and then the final boss was like a stair set and handrail, but it like progressed from like one thing to the next, but each stage of it was a different kind of competition. Like, so when you watch Street League now, you see people do the same stuff, like from qualifiers to semifinals to finals. You see the same course, same obstacles. What if it was like it progressed from like flat ground all the way to like rails and hubbas and gaps? Like, I don't know. I feel like that would be more interesting to see. I don't know. I just think it would be more entertaining to see a lot of different types of skating. Like you could do mani pads. You could do like iconic spots. Like the one thing that that Street League did that was super cool is the bringing back the Hubba Hideout. I think those kind of contests are super sick. That's a good idea. Yeah, dude, I think that's a great idea. Street League. I love Physical 100. I never finished it, but anyways. Okay, let's see. Blind Thrasher, he says, I think they do. I view contests like performing. Just get out there, put on a show, and make some people smile. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to look at it. Hey, Joe, can't stay in tonight, but thought I would drop by and say what up, or say hey. Thanks, WMS Vids. Thanks for pulling up. Yeah, dude, I feel like that's a good way to look at it. Is just like your video parts, it's just like supposed to be entertaining. I like how the contest is in Copenhagen. I'm Brazilian. I can tell you that we prefer ledges way more than rails and gaps. Most of our skate parks in Sao Paulo have a lot of ledges. Yeah, dude, I've noticed that. And maybe it's also like comes from like there's certain plazas that you guys have in Brazil, that, the plazas usually have the better ground, and then, the rest of the terrain is pretty rough, but the plazas are good, and the plazas end up having ledges anyway, so it kind of like feeds into, oh, this is what people normally skate, we build that for a skate park, lots of ledges, and it just reinforces that cycle. But I have noticed that Brazilians are particularly like uh, just so good at skating ledges. I feel like it's such a consistent thing. You don't really see a lot of Brazilian handrail skaters. You name a Brazilian handrail skater. I mean, Carlos Ribeiro, he kills it, but that's usually not their first specialty. Sup, LJ fam? What up, Ron? They're life-changing events for some. They matter a lot. Yeah, that goes back to my point earlier. Like, Sean Malto literally bought a house. And yeah, as far as like endorsements, it's such a breeding ground for just bringing money into skateboarding. And everybody is, I don't know, people view it as, oh, all these companies are coming in like A-Shock or Cup Noodles or whatever it is, trying to take money out of skateboarding. But that's not how it works. They put their advertisements there, and skateboarders get paid out at the end of the day. So I don't know. I think that they're, in that way, they benefit skateboarding way more than they. I mean, how do they hurt skateboarding? Explain that to me. How do contests actually hurt skateboarding? I feel like people act like so many things are like hurting skateboarding, but they can't really come up with concrete examples. Contests are like real skating, but with late big spins after every trick. I don't know about that. I feel like you don't see a lot of late big spins. Love from South Africa. What up, Chego? All right. Do contests matter? Yes, because skaters don't live from air, and that's their opportunity to change their lives for the better, like Luan or Kelvin Hoffler, or Felipe Gustavo, or Jamie Foy. So many people that they get noticed first at a contest. That's like the first domino that falls. And just in terms of like skateboarding back in the day, um, like contests were the thing. Like when it was vert skating before street skating came along, contests were, you know, how you became a pro skater was you skated contests, right? That's how the pro skating thing even started. It wasn't video parts, like videos weren't a thing. So contests are so baked into skateboarding. But then when skateboarding kind of died off and it became street skateboarding, there wasn't as much endorsement money in it. So it went a different route of, skate videos. And I feel like now it's like we can have both. So like why does it need to be one or the other? I feel like they complement each other like really, really well. Didn't Rob Deerdeck fly Nyjah out? Like Nyjah wouldn't be this big without Street League. Yeah, 100%. It's interesting. Rob Deerdeck gets a lot of hate, but Rob Deerdeck bet on Nyjah Houston and like really was in his corner and really made Nyjah Houston, gave him a platform to become who he is. Same thing with Raisa Leal. Um, he essentially had a really, really big hand behind the scenes and helping both of them to, pop off in their careers and be able to become professional skateboarders. And those two, think of the impact that those two have had and are going to have on skateboarding. Just those two. Like, Raisa is easily the best girl skater that we've ever seen. Like, now there's other girls that are coming up behind her that are, also crazy, like the girl from Australia, Chloe Clavel, Momiji Nishia. There's so many. He tried to make P-Rod a movie star. That's true. Problem is what happened in the last Olympics. Raisa Leal was in the contest, and we were on a political running in our country. Sky Brown is sick at park. You know what? I kind of have a hot take about Sky Brown. I think some are afraid that contests will slowly change or erase the core culture of skateboarding, slowly make the general attitude and community more like regular sports. See, but I feel like all that's gonna do is make street skating even cooler. Because it's like you got your goody two shoes, that are doing it inside the box, and then you've got the people that are doing it another way. So the more mainstream that contests become and more mainstream that skateboarding becomes, the cooler it's going to be street skating, because the more rare it is, because most people aren't going to be doing it in the streets. Most people are going to be doing, at the skate park, so we've had contests since day one. Yeah, completely. I agree with that. All right. They can matter, especially fun little contests on the curb or quarter pipe in the parking lot of your local skate shop. Yeah, I would say this is kind of going a different route with it, but playing a game of skate with your homies is probably one of the best things that you can do for your skating. Like pushing each other. Please share your Sky Brown hot take. I'll get to it in a second. But yeah, seriously, if like me and my homie Aaron, we would. Are you guys still there? All right. Oh yeah, I was just saying, let's play games of skate, and like we progressed really fast, like pushing each other, and so like, do contests matter? I feel like if that's a contest or whatever, a competition between two homies, I feel like that matters. Like it helps push you, it helps you to be better. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I feel like contests are like a more hyped up version of that, with a lot more moving parts, and sometimes, yeah, it can be kind of crazy, like judging skateboarding in like 9 club or 8.5 whatever. But at the end of the day, like, contests help skaters push each other. What would be the ultimate contest format? Bro, I think I already cracked it, dude. Contests are humbling too. You think you're gonna kill it and then you don't. Yeah. The ultimate contest format has got to be like uh Survivor style contest, where you start out with flat ground, and you get 100 skateboarders, and you put them in groups of 10, and then you play skate, and the top 3 advance. The top 3 skaters advance, um, and then based off of who wins where, you get seeded into another like bracket, and then instead of flat ground, it's it's groups of 3 ledge game of skate. Sorry guys, I'm sorry about the stream. All right, what are your thoughts on skate in the Olympics? I don't know if it would really make sense. I feel like it's good to have the rails and gaps, because I feel like that's relatable to the average person. I think games of skate are a little bit too niche, but it's the most clear format. So maybe there there's something else that can be done. A different competition, obstacles throughout the park, like, and right, you've got like the uneven bars, and you've got the beam, and like the vault. You have all these different um contests within a contest. Maybe it should be like that, and like they all culminate into like an overall score kind of thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like you start out on like a flat bar or flat ground, and then like ledge, mani pad go together, and then you move on to like the big section, the stairs, rails, hubbas kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like that would be it'd be interesting to see it like switch up a little bit. I'd want a course layout that mimics actual famous spot and see how skaters get creative with it. Yeah, dude, the freaking Hubba Hideout thing was so sick. And with the mega ramp, yeah, that would be sick. Just like Nigel Houston sending the mega ramp. I bet he could do it. Yeah, but something else, like, I don't know. I feel like we get LA Courthouse, that would be an interesting contest. If vert skateboarding ever makes it to the Olympics, that would be sweet. Yeah, I agree. Vert's a very, like, I don't know. I feel like it almost fits the mold of the Olympics better than street skateboarding does. Because it's one ramp, and you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's a little bit more easy to comprehend. And they're flying through the air. I feel like that's relatable, like the danger factor and stuff. I feel like street skateboarding is so technical that it doesn't work as a contest as well as vert works as a contest. Oh, all right, Sky Brown hot take. I don't think she's that cool. So I was at Street League and Sky Brown was there, and she was hanging out with Raisa and let's think, who else? Carl Watson dressed like it was snowing during the Hubba Hideout contest was pretty funny. Yeah, she was there and hanging out with Raisa, and basically Raisa was at the contest in Salt Lake where they have the Street League course. They also have a Vans Park Series course there, and they basically fenced it all off, and so there was a fence around the bowl. And people were, like, going over there and, like, waving at pro skaters because they were, like, hanging out by the bowl. Because, obviously, it wasn't a bowl contest, right? It was Street League. So people were just kind of, like, goofing around, skating around the bowl, warming up or cooling, just chilling, kicking it. And Raisa was over there chilling with Sky Brown. And Raisa was, like, signing everybody's autograph. Like, being so nice, so appreciative of everybody. And Sky Brown was, like, refusing to sign autographs. And I was like, bro. But also, so she's famous, like, on YouTube and in like, surfing. And, like, she's pretty much got it made. Like, as a brand. She's, like, kind of like a child star. Whereas I feel like Raisa still kind of, her career is dependent on her skateboarding. And her skateboarding shines above all. Whereas Sky Brown's kind of, like, got this persona of being, like, this cute, innocent little girl who's, like, really, the poster child for Nike. And so I feel like she, like, from that experience, seeing her, like, refuse to sign autographs and whatnot, it almost turned me off. Like, she doesn't seem, like, down to earth. Whereas Raisa seems like the most down to earth. So I don't know. That was my hot take on Sky Brown. That, I don't know. She is a little bit overhyped in my mind. I just like watch the whole views like cut in half as I go on that like rant about Sky Brown. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Okay. Thanks. Great opinion. Thank you. Yeah, it's just my opinion. To be honest, I want to see more contests like the Wallenberg contest or something crazy. Never out idolize anyone. Maybe over idolize is what you're trying to say. I think I get what you meant. Yeah, dude, there's cool contests to be done. Like that Wallenberg Buster Bale. I don't know what happened to those Buster Bale contests. I feel like those were sick. We need to get more of that going on. And, like, I'm here for Street League. Street League, I feel like, is the best format that we have. But it doesn't meet everybody's needs. So I feel like there's so much opportunity for, like, other kinds of contests. I had a similar experience when I went and saw the Gorillas live. All right. Do contests matter? Definitely. If they didn't, there would not have been a great push to get skateboarding in the Olympics. It's the art of competition. It's what fuels contenders to do their best. Whether for self-assurance or reassurance, it matters. It's about the ultimate prize. Honestly, that did not make sense to me. Everyone was cool, except the lead singer. Delta 9, what do you mean? Why are you commenting Tom Asta? I don't get it. Do contests matter? Yes, because people, big skateboarding brands, can see a skater they like and sponsor him or her. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a reoccurring theme, that like contests are a gateway for so many people to like start their skateboarding career, and just in that way they provide a lot of value. Yeah, contests matter for people trying to get noticed. And yeah, like a lot of people that get noticed through contests don't necessarily go on to be Nigel Houston. But like you look at most pro skaters, if you watch the 9 Club, they tell their story. They're like, oh, where did you get noticed? It was at, oh, the state sponsored contest series or whatever. You know, it's usually through contests that people get noticed in the first place, and then it goes from there. And maybe they're, as the pressure of competition gets higher or whatever, the level of competition gets higher, maybe they're not good enough to really succeed in street league per se, or whatever the highest form of competition is at that time. But like still, those contests bring together the community and help change people's lives. All right. I miss Zumi's couch tour and Vulcan Wild in the parks. To be honest, contests should matter to anyone. It changes the lives of skaters financially. Yeah. I definitely feel like that's a super valid point in terms of just like skaters don't. It is absurd that people get paid a living to skateboard. Like it's a wooden toy with 4 wheels, but part of the reason that they can is because of contests, because contests bring eyes onto skateboarding, and then from there, you know, endorsements, sponsorships. It's a culmination. You know, it's where money and skaters collide, right? So yeah, I think that's a pretty much a irrefutable argument for why contests do matter, because they help fuel the industry and help you know, street skating, video parts, all of that benefits from contests, because skateboarders get sponsored and then go off to film video parts. So, and sometimes it works the other way too. Sometimes, you know, you have somebody who's like a raw street skater, like, and then they get noticed, and then they get a tryout at Street League or whatever. So, like Tyson Bowerbank, for example, local Utah guy. Have you ever tried Cariumas? No, I haven't. I've tried them on and they were comfortable, but I've never skated them. Okay, here's a good point. I'm going to Vegas soon. Sick. Do contests matter? Yes. It's more realistic than video parts. You see people in real time. Yeah, so I think that is a point that nobody has made so far. Tyson's 540 is bananas. Yeah. Shout out Tyson Bowerbank, local legend. Saw him once and he blew my mind. That's a really good point that I don't think anybody's made, is when you're at a contest, like if you're in the streets, right? You're trying your hardest trick and you have unlimited tries. There's no pressure, well, hardly any pressure. Obviously, you could be getting kicked out. It's an uncontrolled environment, but if you don't get it that day, you can go back another day, for the most part, right? In a contest, you have to do it right then and there. So when you see with your own 2 eyes, like you go to Street League and you watch the practices, you watch the warm-ups, you get to see these people make mistakes. That's insane. Like, it's not just like land. There, you know, you see somebody practicing their run, and they may, you know, sometimes they'll miss a trick here or they'll miss a trick there, and then when the like run starts, when the clock starts ticking, you see the determination to make it happen in that moment. And in that moment, they're so dialed in, the pressure pushes them to really focus and do all the tricks, 10 tricks in a big long line across this huge skate park course. And I just feel like when you are there live in person, seeing them miss tricks in practice, and then see under the pressure, see them like put it down, you're like, oh wow, like this isn't easy for them. When you're there, you see how they make mistakes just like you. They don't land things every try just like you. But then it makes it even more impressive when when the pressure's on, they go ahead and they put it down, and you're like, wow, they actually did something like amazing. Contest skating and skaters that take part in contests bear very little in common with street skating and skaters. Contest skating is a sport done by athletes. All right, let me try and push back on that. All right, WMS Vids, what are your thoughts on Braden Hoban? Is he an athlete? Shout out Brian with the 2, man. Just, giving up half of our money to YouTube. Love that. Love that. It's like, whatever. I wish there was a way that I could publicly Venmo you, because, anyways, I want to build the hype in the stream, get people donating, but at the same time, YouTube's taking all our money, Brian. All right, I don't know when Zoomies Couch Tour was around. All my street skating buddies would enter. Yeah, I've never been around Zoomies Couch Tour, so I don't have anything to say on that. Some contest skaters are athletes, but not all of them are. How long are we going to do this? Brian, dude, I'm not backing down. This could go on forever. This could go on forever, man. I mean, you have to call surrender. You have to surrender. I'm not backing down. This could be years, bro. Until one of us quits YouTube. It's like comparing Formula 1 drivers to a professional driver in the streets, such as a pursuit driver. Both professionals at the top of their game, just different game. I'm not saying they are. Okay, but exclusive, as some do both, but very different practices. Okay, but I still want you to answer me about Braden Hoban, because you said that contest skaters are athletes. I want to know where you think Braden Hoban fits in that. Do you think Braden Hoban is an athlete? But not all contest skaters take it as serious as others. Yeah, that's facts. Like, so watching Street League in Lake Havasu, holy crap, Nigel Houston takes Street League way too seriously. Bro, like, Nigel Houston's in there, he runs Street League. Like, I remember one time, he's got his headphones in, Deshaun Jordan bails a trick down the stairs, and then Nigel tries a trick, and, like, Deshaun's board is still at the bottom of the stairs because it's like he just, he's in his zone doing his thing, and then he, like, gets mad at Deshaun because his board was at the bottom of the stairs, and it's just like, bro, like, I don't know. Deshaun's like super chill about it, but Nigel's like, no, I came to like dominate. I think he is an exceptional street skater who is lucky to be consistent enough to be able to compete against athletes. There have been a few like that over the years, in fairness. Okay. That's what I wanted to hear, WS. I was just trying to poke a hole, man. I was just trying to poke a hole in your argument. So I just needed you to admit that. But you're right. I do think you're right, because it's a different mindset. Like you said, it's more street skating is more artistic, and contest skating is more predictable. Yeah, definitely less artistic. Wasn't Battle at the Barracks supposed to be do round 2? Where'd they go? I think they're working on it, TJ. I think they're working on Battle at the Barracks 13 or whatever it is. Tori Pudwell. Dude, I don't know why the stream keeps dropping like every, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. It has to drop at least once. Not a fan of Nija. Taking it too serious is a great way to put it. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I were making, tens of thousands of dollars every contest, I feel like I'd probably take it seriously too. And also, some of us are born like competitive, and it's just like nurtured into us. Like, I'm really competitive, so if I had been in his shoes, like, I don't know if I'd be much different than Nija. Probably wouldn't be as competitive as him though. He's like, I hate saying the word toxic, but yeah, maybe to a level where it's like he wouldn't normally act like that. But then in a contest, like, he's just like so zoned in, just so competitive, wants to win. And like, sometimes you see Nigel lose a contest and you can see he's bummed. Now I feel like he's lost a few and almost like had experience losing more often, that I feel like he does it well. But I feel like he even still struggles at losing. Like when he lost in Salt Lake, but to be fair, when he lost in Salt Lake, he kind of got robbed. But yeah, I can tell he's he does take it very seriously. It's only recently that I've seen Yuto actually seem to enjoy skating. He used to always look like he was skating at gunpoint. Yeah, I completely agree. Did Nigel cry over losing back in the day? Probably. Opinion on Bastian Salabanzi. Probably one of the only skaters that can make double flips look good. But also he's now on Karyuma. Karyuma's just like going, just like, they have a database of like names of professional skateboarders. They're like, all right, who's washed up but was sick at one point, and be like, all right, we got Bastian Salabanzi, we got Luan Oliveira, we got Mike Vallely, like people that used to be culturally relevant, and they're like, all right, this is how we're gonna get acceptance in skateboarding, is like going to all these dudes that used to be super sick. I don't know. We'll see if it works. And it worked a little bit with me, with Mike V, and with Luan, but now it's like I'm kind of catching on to what they're doing here, what their strategy is, and I'm like, nah, I see what you're doing. This is way too deliberate. It doesn't feel natural. It's like all of a sudden you're just like on it with all these OGs. I don't know, man. It seems forced. Seems forced to me. I don't love how it feels. I'll be honest. Let me just plug in the. All right, let's read some more comments here. Do contests matter? I just don't like the impact of contests on contest skateboarding on skate parks that are being built lately. Many new skate parks are look like SLS training facilities. Yeah, okay. Cyrus, dude, shout out you for bringing that up, because this is something that Carium also sponsors and marketing finance email newsletter I follow. Nigel was raised to be a comp skater, wasn't he? No, Nigel was just raised to be a beast skater in general. In the streets and in contests. He was just raised to be the ultimate skateboarder. Okay, but back to the skate park thing. So they're building a skate park here next year. End of next year is supposed to be done. And they're building a street league course. Like, so there's a street league course up in Salt Lake. And I've skated it. And there's like barely anything for me to do there. There's barely anything for anybody to do there. Because maybe 1% of skateboarders can actually skate that skate park, like, fully. Skate all the obstacles, because it's so gnarly. So there's some parks that I've seen in California. I don't know where they are, but I've seen them in Instagram edits and stuff, where it's like, okay, that is street league style. You've got rails, you've got gaps, it's kind of that style, but it's like scaled down. It's like miniature street league. I vibe with that. I think the back and forth style of street league, like, I think it's very efficient how they set up the course and stuff. I think it's a really efficient use of space, and I think it's really smart. But like making it so big is just like I don't know. I feel like you are like, what is the point of a skate park if nobody can skate it? Like, and so in my head, like, so they're gonna be putting an Olympic-sized bowl, like Olympic qualifying bowl at the skate park that's being built here next year, and Olympics style, street league style street course. And that's all sick. Like, I think that's sick because I think it's going to breed a generation of like the next, the future of skateboarders. They're going to have like a training ground, right? And I feel like it's going to be great for the local scene or whatever. But like, why can't you also just on the side put in a flat bar, a ledge, and a mani pad for people that are just like Cherry Park, for example? Like, everybody, all the pros rave about how perfect that park is because it's the perfect amount of nothing. You know what I mean? And so I'm tired of this trend that's going on of building street league training facilities. Like, in terms of the size of obstacles, I'm totally down for like rails, stairs, all that. But like, your average skater is not competing in street league. So why are you like acting like they are in the way that you're designing skate parks? That's what I don't like. Nigel robbed during a contest in Move Cup when he was a kid. Ever since then, he snapped. Plaza parks are so much more fun. Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys are from Utah, or you can Google this park. It's the Provo Utah Skate Plaza. It's not like the craziest park, but the obstacles have so much space. It's so spread out. And it's just like somebody can be skating this obstacle, or like a group of 10 people could be skating the flat bar. And they wouldn't be getting in the way of this other person that's skating the stairs. And they wouldn't be getting in the way of the person skating the A-frame. Like, the way that they've designed it is you basically have 10 skate parks within one skate park, right? And they all flow together, but it makes it so that the skate park can like accommodate a lot of people, and people will never get bored. Although I hate that they put in a square bar. I wish they would have put in a round flat bar. But anyways, that's my I will say that is one thing about contests that I don't like, that this trend of making street league skate parks. I don't know. It's not good for most skateboarders. So that's my rant about that. Yeah, exactly. Where's the fun? As a beginner, a SLS style park is over the top. Yeah, big time. It's easiest to get government money to build parks when officials see that it compares to something like the Olympics. Yeah, so I get that, but also I feel like you need to have some self-awareness that you are pitching it to these people, saying like, hey, this is, to get people into the Olympics, this is a legitimate thing. But also say, see all these obstacles, the building block for all this, the T-ball of street league is a flat bar, a ledge, and a mani pad. So having that is, way more important, because how are you ever going to get to street league or the Olympics if you don't have like the basics? So why are you expecting people to, give them this street league style Olympic park? Like, how, you can't start there. So I understand the pitching it to like government people, but you can't neglect the fact that, anyway, so that's my rant about that is, I don't know. I feel like skate parks, obviously, like, I don't hate the street league. You guys there? All right. I think I'm giving up. The stream is cutting out so bad. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. It's been fun. Sorry that the freaking connection was so buggy today, but resident skater, I feel like I lost like almost everybody. That's all good. We've been out here for a while anyway, so. Rob Gnarly, what's good? resident skater. Cyrus, appreciate you guys being here through the ups and the downs. But yeah, I'm on my data right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure to leave it in the comments, like what stream topics you guys want me to cover. Not in the chat, but like in the comments, and I'll check them out, as well as like video ideas, stuff you guys want to see. But all right, guys, that's it. I will catch you in the next one. Make every day a Friday. Take care.